Who wants to hit high bombs? Well, we all do. Let's find out what it takes to do just that. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I want to talk to you about the driver. Trying to get those high driver shots without the big bend, i.e. to the right or to the left, that's going to maximize your distance. Not only distance, but carry distance. I want to discuss with you launch angle and the ingredients it takes to get the ball launched high, have low spin for maximum carry and maximum roll. It's an important concoction of swing mechanics and an appreciation of what your golf swing tends to lean towards or lean against. As usual, we've got 4 boxes up on the screen here. The first one, the club speed. The reason I've got the club speed up is because that is an intrinsic part of what a golfer can and can't produce, notably the carry. I'm going to try and swing at an ambient 100 miles an hour. I can swing a bit quicker than that, around the 108, 110, but I want to keep it a relationship or a swing speed that's probably going to fulfill a lot of the golfers watching this video. Second one is the attack angle. Those of you who may or may have not watched my attack angle video, do go over and see that, because that's absolutely crucial to your development of understanding how attack angle is derived. Face to path, whether the ball bends left, bends right, and then the launch angle. The launch angle is the ingredient that we are looking for today to give you that high launching ball flight. But not only that, we want a high launching ball flight with low spin. You'll get the low spin if the face to path value is very close to 0. Let's negate the fact that the heel, the bottom, the high point, the low point of the strike on the club face is going to affect the spin. Let's just say for now that if we have a face to path value that is as close to 0, you will optimize your spin. Or should I say, you'll get a neutral spin. It's a bit of a sweeping statement, that, but let's be clear that if you were to go for a club fitting, and at Precision Golf, that's the lion's share of our business here. If we were delivering a club face on a neutral face to path line and you didn't see too much curvature, your club path would be very neutral. It wouldn't be meteorically across it or meteorically from the inside, because wherever the face to path points or hangs out, either left or right of closed or open of the path, that will tend to affect where the path points. So a neutral face to path value really sees the loft that you deliver on the golf club as close to neutral as possible. Then you bring in the attack angle, it will either up the loft or decrease the loft. So that's a really important part of this. But as I say, the launch is what I'm really looking for us to discuss today, and how you guys and girls out there can start to get maybe a more high launched golf shot with lower spin. Remember, if you are a low launcher of the golf ball, the ball comes out flat, you need to have more spin to keep the ball in the air. If it's coming out low and flat and you didn't have spin, the thing would just fall out the sky like a wounded mallard. So we need to keep the spin rate adjusted to the launch angle that we produce. And that's why when you start to branch out, for those lucky few of you out there that can swing it 110 miles an hour or more, you are able to be biasing launch angle and a reduction in spin rate. So that when you're launching it higher, because the ball has got this launch angle that gets it fired up into the sky, if you've got less spin, it doesn't need spin to keep it in the air because it's got so much club head speed and ball speed that it launches up. You don't need the spin to keep it there because it's already on a traj that's going to keep it in the air, so you're less reliant on having spin rate. Those mere mortals that are swinging it between 90 and 105, you need a good balance of launch angle and spin rate to make that ball optimized for carry and distance. I want to hit some, and I want to talk to you about the fact of where I sit with my golf swing, and the reason why I want to do that, not to talk about me, but to start the conversation of how you start to appreciate what the face to path value brings. So understand that for me, I've worked from a kid playing this game. I was a big Faldo fan. I had a weak left hand grip. I was always pretty toe hang at the top. I was always a slicer of the golf ball. Even in my playing days, I was a big cutter of the golf ball. I'd hit down on it quite a lot and I wouldn't have much ball flight. Then as time went on, more education, better playing, moved to the stronger grip side of life. And because of that, because of the stronger hold, and we take my left hand, we see this decent crease in here. What that does is it makes the face generically in the entirety of my golf swing, my club face is coming back, trying to point to the left. So the face is trying to look over to here. Now, because of that, when I swing the golf club and I start to just hit some drives here, and we'll start to look at my data points. So I'm doing nothing other than trying to swing the club here, make some shots. You'll tend to see that my launch angle is down at 10 degrees. Now I hit that one slightly off the bottom of the face and slightly heely, but the face to path was 2.3 close to path. So draw bias, the attack angle was up at 3 degrees, but yet I only launched it at 10 degrees. I'm going to go again. Very similar swing. My immediate reaction on the back of that last shot is I'm just going to try to move the contact more towards the toe, which I did. Touched too much, that's got a bit of boomerang to the left. So you can see I hit it a little bit more towards the toe, still got the draw. Even though the face to path value was open, it should have faded, but because I hit it out the toe, it had some draw. Now understand that the launch angle went up from 10 degrees to 11.6. The lion's share of that was because my face to path value went from being closed 2 degrees to open a half a degree. That's where I got that added launch, because my attack angle was nuts and bolts the same, club speed was nuts and bolts the same as well. If I suddenly went up to 110 miles an hour, those same ingredients would produce a different launch angle. And that's why I said I just want to stand here and just swing at a very consistent 100 miles an hour so that I can have at least one continuum with an ingredient here, and that's the club speed. So I'm going to go one more again, just to keep it nice and neutral if we can. So again, up to 1 degree open face to path, slightly more out the heel on that one, saw a bit of a fade, and off she went to the right. But then, all of a sudden, because I didn't hit it out the toe, you still saw the fade that we should have seen. Again, 11 degree launch. So, understand that the ingredients that I've delivered there as a launch angle, pretty low. I'm having to work quite hard to get an 11 degree launch. Like to see a bit more than that really, like to see 12, 13 maybe, slightly less spin. But that's going to work, right? I mean, they're all fairly neutral. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my launch angle with very similar data points, the attack angle and the face to path and the club speed. I'm going to now make my launch angle jump up. I'll tell you how I did it in a moment. I'm going to keep everything as close to the same as I possibly can. Hopefully my talent doesn't run out at this point. So that's a bit of a fail, that one. I hit up 3. You can see the face to path value. The face to path value became quite positive. Because it was quite positive, that's where the added launch angle came from. So let's have another go at that. So that was much closer. So hit up at 4 degrees. But already you can see how much more launch angle I've got. I know I've hit up a couple of degrees more there. Face is a little bit more open. I'm going to really try and square that up if I can. But already you're starting to see a much higher launch angle with the golf ball. But what you can also see is that I'm battling to keep it from bending to the right. So there we go. Now I've hit up at 3 degrees. So 0.2 more than one of the other ones. face to path value is 1, but all of a sudden I'm still up at 14 degrees. So my launch angle has definitely gone up around 3 degrees, 4 degrees more than the earlier shots. It certainly had a big jump up. The launch has suddenly pitched itself up. I'm going to go again. I'm going to try and get this one a little bit more up if we can. Oh, that one was to the right. That's a bit too much, that one. That one's a long way right. So what I've done here is I've started to move my grip from my norm of this kind of crease to all of a sudden how I used to grip it as a kid, thumb down the center, which you see a lot more people doing. You used to see a lot more in the old days, but we still see it very prevalent now. I'm going to get rid of that shot off the screen because I don't like looking at that, and I don't want to have a discussion with you with that in the background there. That's a bit more like it. So again, I've weakened off my grip. I've given myself more loft with the club, and all of a sudden the ball started to pitch up, started to get a lot more launch angle. The point I'm trying to make here is that depending on whether you live on the weak side of life with your hold or the strong side of life with your hold will tend to make the impact of driver more biased towards high launch or low launch. The stronger we are with the hold, the more the club face will tend to come in looking at the floor, and the more essential it is for you to create an unload that adds loft. As soon as we have a club face that's coming in open, as soon as we start to unload it, the loft of the golf club is by far increased. So I'm going to now go sort of semi-full tilt at these. First of all, with my normal hold, and you'll immediately see the fade disappear. So a bit low, that one. 8 degrees launch, you can see it's really come down. I was 8 degrees, 0.8 shut to path, but my launch angle was only at 8 degrees, and I was up 3.5. We go again. Bit high off the face, that one. Unloaded it with plenty of loft. Then I'm going to go weaker hold. Going to unload it harder. Oh, a bit to the right, that one. But look at the differential in the ball flight. I know it's cut away to the right a little bit, but look at how different the high shot is coming out. And I'll try this time, try and get that one back to straight for us. It's going to take some effort because I've worked hard at controlling a face angle coming back in shut. Let's grab another tee here. It's so much easier when you're gripping the club weaker to create a high launching golf ball. Oh, it's still a bit right, that one. You can see how much I'm battling the right side, but look what's happening launch angle wise. Look how easy it is for me to get that ball flight up in the sky. Oh, that's a bit right again. I'm really fighting. Fighting the right side. And look, I'd like to consider myself as a fairly skilled golfer, and I'm working pretty hard here to not keep this golf ball out the right hand trees. Oh. So then I really try to whip the toe over it, and I've just about got it back to straight. That bend left has come from being out the toe. But now, when I go stronger with my hold, I now try to unload it harder. No longer do I have to worry about the right side. I'm now just worrying about how high I can launch it. And again, as soon as I go to that stronger hold, I completely negate the right side of the golf course almost. And I immediately feel that I can start to unload the golf club with loft here. So I now get a higher launching ball, or should I say a slightly lower launching golf ball, but all of a sudden I could move that ball further and further forwards to help with the launch angle. Still a little bit low, but it's kind of what I want, because the more I keep making that face coming into the golf ball looking more down because of the way I'm holding it, it all of a sudden allows me to add some more loft. So to get the high launch, how much you can unload the golf club with a stronger hold will give you high launch, low spin. The more you have the face coming in, you have to unload it, and it's still got loft on it. Too much creates high launch but high spin. So all of those guys and girls out there that have got that high, super high launch with a lot of spin, you can see which side of life you hang out with your club face orientation in your golf swing. So let's go again. I'm going to turn it up a notch and go a little bit longer in my backswing and give you a slightly faster swing. But again, still draw bias, but you can see once again the launch angle has come down. I think I'll end on that one. Hopefully you appreciate the relationship of how important the hold is, how it affects the face angle with your driver coming in, and what it will do to your spin rate and your bend and your launch. You hang out on the weaker side of life. That's where you're going to be hitting it. That's how you're going to be swinging it. And your technology in your golf club will have to embrace that. The club will have to be lighter so that when you're in the pull phase, the club can swing past you a little bit more. When the club face to path value hangs out a bit more neutral, the club can be heavier so that you pull it, so that you line it up a little bit more. I think you'll find that's good coaching. And if you've liked it, do hit the like, share and subscribe with your friends, and I look forward to seeing you very soon.